Hi everyone. This better practice video is going to take you through how to upload specifications inside of Procore. Pretty basic procedure out there, but there's a couple tricks and tips that you can do along the way. Hopefully you enjoy it. So this video is going to cover how to upload specs into Procore. Typically pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There are a few little gotchas as you go. So let's take a look at it and jump in and get going. So first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this entire spec book that I have is sent over in PDF. It has to be in PDF. It also has to be searchable. If it's not text searchable, if you go through and you look at it and you're like, this is just scanned, go back to the design team and ask them for the original version. If by chance you cannot get that, come to your batch tools here inside of Bluebeam, OCR that, use the drawing type text documents, and go ahead and just click OK here and save it. Let Bluebeam do a first attempt at OCRing, and then Procore can do the next attempt. The other thing that you need to recommend and do before, get an understanding of what's in here on the project number and project information. Make sure that it has a spec section at the end and that each of these have like a little end of section marker here. You don't want to be having, even if you have drawing or specs that have like different forms and things like that don't have this, just go ahead and put that like even in Bluebeam and put it at the bottom right-hand corner, and then go ahead and flatten that document right here so that it's included in the upload. So that's really the first part there to get you going. So let's jump in. Once you've kind of double checked it and you think that they're ready to go, you have the latest and greatest version. It's actually ready to be uploaded. We can get it uploaded. So we're going to go ahead and jump in, go to our project tools, and then select specifications. Once these specs open up, I'd recommend first thing, go ahead and update your configuration settings up here at the top left and take a look at that. Okay, so once you get this opened up and you come to your specification sections, you got revisions. I'm not really worried about that. So letters versus numbers. So revision A, B, C, or are you doing it revisions 1, 2, 3? That's really up to your design team, however they decide it. Is it R1, R2, R3, blah, blah. Then here's a new area, so spec area. So say you have multiple buildings or multiple phases of a project, you might want to enable this change so that you can actually have multiple sets, because sometimes your concrete spec is different for different buildings or different phases of a project. So you might have the same exact spec number, but it's actually different. So I'm going to leave that off for right now, but just be aware that it's there. Then you have your specification subscribers. You can actually come in here and add as many people. Like one of our best practices is that as soon as you award a subcontract, as part of your subcontract award process, go ahead and add those recipients in here from the subcontract. So there's no excuses that they didn't get the updates. So like they are on that list, they will get that update. So moving across here, divisions. Here are all your spec divisions. You can edit these, add divisions, move them around. Same thing here. So sets, very similar. You can edit the fields, add information, add a new set here. So that's getting more helpful, but we'll do that new set in just a second. So let's go back to specifications real quick. I have a whole separate video on how to navigate these, how to get the best out of it. A couple quick highlights are here. You have your search. This just searches the title. You have divisions to jump down really quickly to divisions, filters there. You can create new divisions and new spec sections right here as well. Open the entire spec section by clicking here, or spec book by clicking here, or go open up individual pages there. But right now we're going to go ahead and click upload. So we're going to select upload. We're going to drag in and drag that file over. So right there. I usually drag versus attaching and clicking through. Just open it up on another window, another screen, just drag it and drop it there. So then we're going to go in here and we're going to create this set. So I'm going to come in and I typically type the year followed by the date, followed by the month and day, and then project. So this is building better training academy. And then what is the set name? So sometimes you have different dates for different sets. So this is addendum 1. Okay. So then we're just going to go ahead and create that. Give it a set date, January 1st, and then the format. So typically US, we just CSI master format. That's all we need. Issued on date. If you have that, great. If not, go ahead and leave that blank, but we're going to just say our January 1st. Receive date, I don't have a receive date here. So if you have a revision for these, if it's R1, R2, this is going to be addendum 1. It's fine. If there's numbers inside your spec book that you should ignore. So like here, for example, I have 1001. That's a project number. So I'm going to put that in there. So 1001. Then English is my language. We're going to go ahead and click that and let it process. Give it a second. Okay, so this will go ahead and get processed. It might take 5 minutes, might take 10 minutes, depending on how many you have. So once it gets done processing, you can review. You can go do whatever you want after that. When you click in review, there's a couple things to look at. It's going to give you your spec section number here, your description of that spec or the title of the spec, and a revision number. You can change that revision number. We're just going to use it as revision 1. You can always leave and resume and come back later or publish all. So I actually like to publish one by one. So as I work my way here, I typically just jump down to the next one. So I check this number. Yep, that number looks good. Looks good. Let's jump to the next one. And then let's scroll up a little bit and make sure that we're good to go there. So honestly, if Procore, if you left it like when I jump to the next one, just a little bit up, it would help me out quite a bit. So I'm going to go back here, click on this one, scroll up slightly, publish that. That does take a little bit. Wish it didn't refresh there each time. You can go, if you wanted to, you could check every single one and just confirm that it's good and then move to the next one. Confirm that it's good, move to the next one, scroll up. Yep, we're good. Confirm that we're good. Yep. And then work our way through. And we could then publish all. But honestly, I will click each one of these at a time, typically. Now, a couple little other things that you can do and you need to know about. There is sometimes where it will add a break in here, and I'm just going to copy this number and this number, and we're going to remove it. So sometimes it has an extra break in that it shouldn't have. Sometimes it needs a new break that it should have. So either way, you might need to delete or add a break. So here we'll put in that number. So 0335. There we go. In there, click out, revision 1. I would go section by section, line by line. Once you're done, all you got to do is hit publish all. This is going to publish everything. And that's pretty much it for publishing your specs. Some other tricks and tips is just make sure you have that area understanding, that you know what's going on with that. If you have duplicate spec numbers across divisions, you can now see that thy current set is revision 1. If I look here and open this up, it's actually probably still processing it. I can see those other revisions right here. So yeah, it's still processing it. And hit view. There's that revision. Good to go. Hey, Procore, by the way, just reflow these. Like put my spec number, all this other information. I just want to see my actual text in a version that I can just zoom in and out, scroll in and out. So that's it. That's how it's done. Let me know if you guys have any questions.